Don't you think that's why this devotion we were talking earlier about how, it just seemed to explode in people wanting to know more and grasping onto it. I'm looking at the image behind you guys, those two rays, and how many people feel like you don't want me, God. I'm beyond your mercy. I think a lot of people, either consciously or subconsciously, have gotten to that point where, Look at the sins I've done. Forget it. I'm done." And so they just kind of move on with their worldliness and they forget about God, right? They might not try. I think the vast majority of them don't try to dwell on it because it would throw them into deep depression if they did. But you know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, this devotion is given to us that says, wait a minute, sure, there's going to be a judgment day, but first, let's take care of you, and let's welcome you back. You guys, I was thinking recently that I always say this expression, some of the greatest saints were some of the greatest sinners, but I'll think of two right off the top of my head. St. Paul, he persecuted, killed Christians, had them put to death. And he ends up writing a third of the New Testament. And then let's look at David. That two of the gospel writers had to make sure that Jesus is seen as being in the lineage, in the line of David. But who was David? He was an adulterer. He arranged that the husband of the woman he was with would get killed in battle. And yet they want to proudly say that Jesus falls in the line of David. Do you see what I'm saying? That there is no sin or sinner that's beyond the reach of God. And I know we're going to talk in a second here too about how, and this is amazing too, I kind of count it as a miracle, but the powerful 54-day novena that want everybody to jump on board with. But I find it just like the hand of God that 54 days from Ash Wednesday to Divine Mercy Sunday is exactly 54 days. What were you up to there, God? And but maybe first, you guys, can you tell us a little bit more about that beautiful image that's intoxicating for people who have given up on themselves, given up on God? What is the message that Jesus has given us through those rays that are coming out in that beautiful image?
Well, what the rays represent, of course, is when the Lord was pierced in his side, and he said at that moment, mercy poured out upon the whole world, and with the blood and the water that shows that he was really dead. But it represents how Christ is alive today, just as he was 2,000 years ago in the sacraments of our Holy Catholic Church. And in this particular one, this is a print of the original painting of the Divine Mercy, which is called the Vilnius, was painted in Vilnius, Lithuania, under Sister Faustina's direction with the help of her spiritual director. And the background is pitch black. So we would come out with this and people would go, I don't like that picture because the background is just dark. And it's like, well, yeah, because without Jesus, we are in darkness. Mm-hmm. But he's stepping out of the darkness and he's coming to us out of that darkness. He's actively walking. His right hand is in the gesture of blessing, and because he wants us again to be holy and to have the strength that we need to overcome our temptations and our sinfulness. Yep. His left hand is opening his gown. And, what we would say is he's not pointing to himself like, look at me, I'm God, I'm so powerful, I'm almighty. He's opening up his heart, which is what we're all supposed to do to be Christ-like, to open up our hearts. And those rays, the pale ray is for the sacrament of baptism, where we receive the Holy Spirit, become children of God, and the sacrament of reconciliation, where Jesus told Saint Faustina, the greatest miracles take place, because this is where we're reconciled with God, and just to keep coming for this grace. And so many people would hear that when we would do our programs on the road, and we would have a holy hour and we would have adoration and confessions. Sometimes the priest would say, oh, no one's going to go to confession, I'll be there. And the lines would be out the door. They'd be there till midnight. We said, Father, you better get some other people to come. And the priest sometimes would cry later on, oh my gosh, I've heard these confessions, people that hadn't been here in 18, 20, 30, 40 years.
I love those.
Yeah. Well, because they heard of what's there, what's available to them.
We call them big fish.
There you go. The big fish came in, the little ones, but people can be reconciled.
They bring us priests to tears too.